Hi, my name is Gabby and welcome back to my channel, Gabby on Paper. In today's video, we are going to look at all of my income and my expenses for 2023. So this is the income versus expenses report on YNAB. You can find it by going to the report section, income and expenses, and then just running it for the entire year. I exported it and it went to like the Excel thing for Apple computers. And then I brought it over to Google Sheets. I want to say I just copied and pasted it. And then from there, I did remove certain things, but just for like formatting purposes, all the information is on here and accurate. I didn't change any of that. It was just the way it was set up. I kind of made it what I feel is a little cleaner and easier to read. I'm not going to go through every single section month by month because that would take an eternity. I am going to do a little bit more of an explanation for income, save and invest, the sinking funds, and the Gabby improvement funds. All the others, I will just do like the average or the totals for the year. I received one cash gift in 2023, and that was from, I guess, a colleague, you could say. I don't really know how to explain it, but $1,500. I'm in a kind of like a support role at work, and the people I support often give gifts, like a little bonus during Christmas time for the work that you put in throughout the year. So it's a nice little bonus, I guess, at the end of the year. So $1,500 is what I received for that. It's the only one I received in 2023. Then the bulk of my income comes from my salary. I am a salaried employee, but I am eligible for overtime, which is nice. So I get the best of both worlds. Most of my checks do have overtime on them. And I can't just decide to work it. It's just kind of like a workload thing. Like if I have too much and I need to work late, then I get paid the overtime. I can't just be like, I'm going to work 5 hours of overtime this week. I would if I could, but it just doesn't work that way. I am paid bi-weekly, so March and September were 3 paycheck months, and then you can see that reflected here. It's significantly higher than all the other months. In March, I also received my bonus for the year from my company. This was for 2022, and I started in my job halfway through September of 2022, so there's only about 3 months of potential bonus that I could get, so it's definitely prorated, which excites me for my bonus this year since it will be my first full year with the company. So because of March being a 3 paycheck month and the bonus, March was a very high income month for me. So next up is miscellaneous, and this is just a few little things that I've made note of, as you can see. In April, I received a check for an Apple lawsuit settlement, which I didn't even know about. It was a nice surprise. It was $28.90. So that's what that miscellaneous income was for. In June 2023, I was paid out for a bank bonus, and I can't remember what bank it was with, but I want to say you had to do like $10,000 of direct deposit in 3 months, and then you got the $600 bank bonus. So I did that, and then I closed the account. $15 work reimbursement. I just forgot to pay for an Uber with my corporate card, and I used my Uber Cash for it, so they reimbursed me for it. And then in September 2023, I was paid out for another bank bonus, which I also can't remember the details of. But all in all, I got an extra $1,073.19 in miscellaneous income. I forgot to mention this up here, but my total net salary after 401k, insurance, taxes, obviously, what else do we have? My HSA contributions, my transit, because I get my train pass paid for with pre-tax dollars. The total net income was $50,568.93. Then there were a couple of times where my YNAB account didn't match up with my credit card or bank account or whatever, so I had to reconcile my account. So that's what these 2 months are, and believe me, I tried to find the issue and I could not find it, so I gave up, and that's fine. I'm trying to avoid that this year, but honestly, it's not a great start. And then finally, the last bit of my income was a tax refund. In February 2023, I received $1,002 from my federal refund. And then in April 2023, I received $94 for my Illinois state refund. I think this year, though, when I file, I will owe money. My total net income from all my sources, all my different sources, was $58,006.52. Next up is saving and investing, and the emergency fund. I didn't actively send money to my emergency fund. All these amounts are just from my high yield savings account interest being applied towards my emergency fund. And in total, I received $971.70 in high yield savings interest, which is crazy. That's almost $1,000 for doing absolutely nothing. The reason it's not negative is because I would record the interest in my YNAB account and send it directly into my emergency fund category rather than making it like a ready to assign amount and then assigning it there. If I had done that, it would have been in my income section. The second part of that is my Roth IRA. I sent $8,768 to my Roth IRA. $6,500 of that was for the 2023, and then the remaining portion was for 2022 since I was still working on funding that the first part of this year. All right, next up is my bills. I paid just over $12,000 towards my rent and utility fee. The reason the average is less than what I pay normally is because in April 2023, we didn't have to pay rent. We didn't have to pay it in March either because of promotions. The March one was from our initial lease. We got the last month free. And then when we re-signed our lease, we got a month free also in April. So in total, $12,000 in rent. Then we have my AT&T bill. For my portion, I paid $964.92, or an average of $80.41 a month. For ComEd, that's our electricity bill, I paid for my half $635 or $52.92 a month. East Bank, we didn't start paying for this until November. In October, we paid the initiation fee. So this is my half of the initiation fee. $195 is my half of the total East Bank bill, which is our gym. So in total, I paid $515 for our gym in 2023, but again, that's only 2 months, so it's very expensive. I'll be interested to see how that goes next year. And the reason we're doing it this year is because I don't think we'll ever live closer to this gym than we are now, and it's a thing. It's like a thing here in Chicago. So we wanted to try it out for some time while we could. If we were to move away from our apartment and move a little further north, we wouldn't be going there because right now it's really easy to get to. Renter's insurance was $72.64. We pay this once a year. This is my half of it, or $6.05 a month. And then in interest and fees, I paid $35.49, and my hope is to get this down to zero next year. I paid one credit card fee of $29. It's my oldest credit card. If I ever buy a home at that point, I will close it because I won't ever need it. I don't use this credit card anymore, but I keep it open just because it's my oldest line of credit. And then I paid about $6 in interest, and that's just from me not being careful and paying the full balance off in time. So silly. So that's why I hope next year to have nothing here. Well, just the $29 fee probably, but all right. Then subscriptions, Netflix, Apple One, and Hulu. I've kind of grouped these together in my new budget. I spent a total of $298.81, or $24.90 a month for my subscriptions. And this is for my third. I split these three things with my boyfriend and my sister. So technically, if this is $300, it would be $900 for those three services between the three of us. Peloton I split with my boyfriend, so $283 for the whole year for me. New York Times, I signed up for the digital subscription, and I've only paid it for like 4 months or so since September. So I paid a total of $17.35 for the whole year. YNAB, $98.99, and that was in February. Amazon Prime, I split with my friend and my sister, so my portion is $49.92 for the whole year. So this, my Sapphire credit card was $95, my Southwest credit card was $69, and then my American Express Platinum was $6.95. And the reason I decided to pay this giant fee for this credit card is because it has a lot of benefits, and I took a look at what they were and I decided it was worth it. I think I make back my money entirely in different credits and stuff that I have been taking advantage of. I for sure have been, but this is the last year I will do that because I just don't want to part with $700 every year. So essentially it's just like fronting the money, and then I get the money back throughout the year as I use their different benefits. Oh, sorry. Let's just go back here a little bit. For bills, in total, my bills came to $14,281.79, and those are the bills I would have to pay every month, no matter what. In these different types of like subscriptions and fees, I spent $1,607.15, and this is going to go down dramatically once I cancel a couple of my credit cards. All right, so next up is food. I spent a total of $5,297.14 in food, an average of $441.43 a month, and that's broken up into groceries, dining out, work lunches, treats, and deliveries. For groceries, my average each month was $223.31. I usually budget $250, so it's pretty good. It does always feel kind of tight, but I haven't been going over, so that's good. I don't think I went over once. No, there were a couple of months that I came really close, like $249 and change, but I never went over the $250. Dining out, I assigned $200 to this category, and I only spent an average of $135.57. I'm really not sure if I want to decrease this though, because there were some months that I got as high as $216 in August. Oh, that was because my dad was visiting, so I took him to every single restaurant that I love here in Chicago. Every single day pretty much that he was here, so I'm not sure. I'm considering lowering this a little bit, but still thinking about it. Work lunches, and these work lunches are specifically like work lunches. Like if I get Raising Cane's or Sbarro or Italy or something like that, that comes out of this category for an average of $47.04. And I would say I probably eat out for lunch 3 times a month, I would say. Treats are mostly vending machine treats that I get during the workday, but sometimes like if we go get a cupcake or an ice cream or something, that would go under this category, and I spend an average of $32 a month. And then delivery is just a tracking category for me. If I spend money out of the delivery category, I transfer it from dining out and move it down here, and it's just so I can see how often we're delivering food. It's not my preferred method by any means. If I'm going to spend that much money, I'd rather go to a restaurant and get it fresh. That's not to say that there haven't been more than just like the few that we had throughout the year. There's been some times where my boyfriend's offered to pay, like quite a bit of times recently actually, where he's like, I'll buy it or whatever. So he takes care of that. But for me, my portion, I only spend $45.08 on delivery. And then variable expenses, so that's entertainment, I spend $257.20. This is mostly like going to the movies and snacks at the movies, I would say, is the bulk of it. Other than that, like if we went to a Bulls game and got snacks, the snacks would come out of the entertainment category. The ticket to the thing would probably to the game would probably come out of my live events. I'm not sure why I do it that way, but that's the way I do it. I should consider combining those though. The difference is that this is, I don't let it roll over. I just assign $50 a month for if things come up, and then my live events I like build up. I only spent $123 in miscellaneous, and I think that's pretty good considering it's for the whole year. That means that most of my transactions have a category, so I know like my spending. That's what I take it to mean. A lot of this was just like, I think at one point I was categorizing like my UPS spending on here. Like if I ship something to my dad or my sister, that would go on there. But I've changed things up a little bit. I got heat resistant gloves and a COVID test in December. My nephew had a school fundraiser, so he sold me like one of those coupon books that you used to sell when you were in school, except for now it's digital. I got a pill case. I got a day pass. I don't know why I would have gotten a day pass, maybe for my dad or something. And then some socks that my sister sent me from Utah, so I had to reimburse her. A barbell pad. So they're just kind of like really one-off things that I don't buy often that goes into that category. And then cash gifts is just if I have cash and someone asks me for cash on the streets and I have, change, I can give them like $5 or whatever. So in total, these variable expenses came to $410.19. All right, so A and G is the category group that has to do with me and my boyfriend. So anniversary is just some money I save up to celebrate our anniversary each year. I spent $178.25. Half of this was for last year's January 2023. I treated him to a meal, a barbecue meal. And the other part is a gift that I bought for this year's anniversary. Dates and stuff would include things like Valentine's Day, and then we went on a date in December and got all dressed up and went to a nice meal and like a jazz thing and an arcade. So it was like a lot of fun. So for what I paid for myself, I spent $74.30. That's included in this $159.26. The remaining, I think, is just like the Valentine's Day stuff. I got him a small gift and then just a bunch of candy. For his birthday, I spent $217.15, and I think that was just a meal and like treats or stuff, something like that. I don't really remember anymore. When we were traveling for Paris, I paid for a bunch of his things as part of his birthday gifts. So that's what those two are. Next year, I'm combining those two categories. And then dog, I spent $29.12, and that's just when we were considering adopting a dog, so we rented a car, and that's what my portion was. All right, so this is where things get really interesting and a little nuts. Oh, okay. I keep forgetting to go over the total. So I spent almost $1,000 between birthdays, anniversaries, Valentine's Day, just on things for me and my boyfriend. Then the Gabby improvement things are all things that are me and my enjoyment and my hobbies and things like that. My biggest problem area in all of this budget is my shopping. I spent almost $5,800 all year, and that's just over $480 a month on average, which is an insane amount of money for how much I make. Completely ridiculous. This is going to be a huge goal of mine. Oh my God, I just realized that's like 10% of my income, of my take-home income. That's completely ridiculous. I can't. So yeah, I just have a shopping problem. I love things. I don't know. I love to buy them. I get such a high from buying them, and I try to hold off. I do hold off, and then they become like a hyper fixation, and then I have to buy it. But I am working on that this year. We'll see how it goes. One of my goals for 2024 is to cut my shopping spending in half. So that would be around $2,900, $2,800 around there. And that's still a ton of money. so I can still enjoy things and buy things I want, but it doesn't have to be this much. I don't know. I mean, I did buy some big ticket items. I bought a couple of ClairV totes, and if you don't know, those can run like $300-400, so that's a ton of money. I bought a couple of Madewell jeans that run around $130, $140 each. Small Longchamp tote that I bought in Paris, other Paris shopping, a Calpac gym bag, gym clothes. I bought a swimsuit to start doing laps, and I have been using it though, so that's been good. Timberland boots, Nike sweatshirt, stickers, and washi tape because I enjoy that. I bought another ClairV purse, and those are like $300. I think the one I got was maybe $350. I don't really know. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, I got some Gucci sunglasses because the ones I had broke. And in my defense, I do keep my sunglasses for years, so you probably won't buy any more sunglasses for like 4 or 5 years. I just pulled out my Ray-Bans out of my purse and they broke, and I struggle finding sunglasses, and I know the Gucci ones fit my face really well, and so I did it. I bought a ton of Abercrombie skirts, I think like 4 or 5. I took up golfing this year, so I bought some golfing clothes, like a Bogey Boys vest that was like $130. Oh my god. Some shapewear, some Nikes. Oh yeah, Kin Studio bracelet. This one was very expensive, and it's just a gold bracelet, and it's absolutely beautiful. I wear it every single day. It has not come off my wrist since I bought it. And I love it. So it was worth it to me. And honestly, I hope to buy other nicer jewelry this year. I bought a strapless bra, which if you know, those are like $100. I bought new perfume because I had completely run out. Like there was absolutely no perfume left. And one of my benefits for my American Express credit card is $50 in Saks credits each half of the year. So I had $100 in gift cards essentially. So I bought the $50 gift card, saved it, and then the next half of the year I bought another $50 gift card, saved it, and then I used that to buy perfume, but it still was like $70. This month I had returns, so I didn't really spend extra. But anyways, as you can see, shopping is a huge problem for me, and I'm trying to cut back. One number that really surprised me was the hobbies. I didn't think I'd spent this much, but it ended up being almost $100 on average per month for a total of $1,134. And this is things like YouTube stuff, like a microphone, but that's a one-time purchase. So I can't blame it all on that, but it's like a planner and journals and stickers and markers and just all the papery things that I like that cost a ton of money. Yeah, pens and just a bunch of stuff. Also working on cutting that back, but mostly because I just have so much stuff that I'm trying to use up, and I am, so that's good. Grooming was $235.22. A lot of this is like dry shampoo or like hair products, toothpaste, things like that. So that's not too bad. Self-care was $290.85. This was haircut and eyebrows, a haircut after a $20 discount, and then I got a massage. So a couple haircuts, massage, a couple eyebrows. Not too bad, I think. Golf, I took up golf. I took up golf, and it was very expensive. I spent just over $1,500 in total. This included 2 sets of lessons. They were group lessons, so it was $250 for a set of 5 lessons, and I did that twice, so that was $500. I also bought some irons. Oh no, they had more than that. So just some golf clubs, and that was, I want to say, like $680. I got my boyfriend's driver re-gripped and a new shaft, like a lady shaft for it. So all of that costs $1,509. So it's $125 a month on average, and that is absolutely insane because that started in June. So not even the full year. And then tennis, Again, I got some tennis lessons that were $179 for 4 of them. Some shoes. I got a racket and overgrip. It was just like a very, very beginner racket from Target and a few balls. And then once we joined our gym, we started paying for the tennis court rentals because it was either too cold, too wet, or now they're closed. So we can't do the court rentals or just the courts for free at the park. And then for my birthday, I just bought a variety of things. I gave myself a $260 budget, so I just barely went over, so that's okay. In total, for my enjoyment, I spent $9,610.76, which I know I need to be enjoying myself and enjoying my money, but I need to be focusing on other things more because this is a whole lot of nonsense and I really want to cut back on this. All right, so sinking funds for ride shares, I spent $65.31, which is not bad considering we don't have a car or anything. Our main mode of transportation is the train. Next is the bus and occasionally Ubers. There are some Ubers that my boyfriend has paid for just out of convenience because he wanted to. So it doesn't represent all the Ubers I've taken, but But for the most part, we split things 50-50, but he does make a little bit more money than me, so I think he's a little more generous. So, yeah. For home goods, I spent just over $1,300. That's $108 on average per month. The very large bulk of this was a chair and rug that we bought for our living room. It was just so bare, and I couldn't stand it anymore. And so we bought a nice rug and a very, very nice chair. So this is my half. So really, the total was double this. And then the rest would just be things like a candle. We got some Anthropology goblets that I really loved and a hand towel. I think the rest of my home goods spending was pretty minimal. It's just the chair and rug that really brought this up. So we're not going to buy more furniture next year. So I think this will go down significantly. Next up is live events, and that's $266.61. We got tickets to a Bears game. We always get the cheapest tickets we could find, and that was $95. We got tickets to a Cubs game, $60. We went to go see Daniel Tosh and bought those tickets for $88.43. I don't know what that was. And then the Little Mermaid Ballet. So not a ton of money spent there. I honestly hope that this goes up a little bit because I like going to these type of events and don't mind spending money there as opposed to up here. All right, miscellaneous, I spent $1,018.31 for an average of $84.66 a month. This is a lot higher than I was anticipating, but I bought an electric scooter, a helmet, a lock, and that's just so I can get around the city a little bit faster. And it's not for day to day, it's more for like when we want to get to the park quickly to reserve our spot for tennis instead of taking the train or Ubering or renting a scooter or a bike. I just bought one, and I think it will pay for itself soon. Like as soon as summer starts, I'll be riding it a lot more. It's a lot of fun, but yeah, that's what obviously a good portion of that was. And I did buy a Kindle and a case, and that's been awesome to have. So no regrets. I waited till it was cheap, and then I traded in my old Kindle, got like 20% off, so it was like really cheap. I got a creative curl wand from Nordstrom that I will return. I tried it out and it just doesn't, I don't know how to do it very well. I just don't think it works very well with my hair. The straightener was a necessity because I've had my straightener for like over 10 years and it was just not straightening like it should anymore, especially in the humidity here in Chicago. I needed something better, and absolutely no regrets. Absolutely love it. I got my Illinois license. I think that's it. The gifts was $760 for the year, or an average of $63.33 a month. And this is not my boyfriend's gift, so it's like everybody else. It's both of my nephews for their birthday gifts, my sister's gift, and then my dad's. Those are the main people that I gift things to. Sometimes my boyfriend's parents. If I spent any money, it would have gone in there. Christmas, I only spent $20. We didn't really celebrate this year, so I didn't have to buy any presents. This is for Christmas 2022, I guess. I just had to buy the present in January because I forgot to do it in December before this budget. Electronics with $212.49. I just got new AirPods Pro, the ones I had for years before. I think I accidentally dropped them in a little water bubble thing, and they worked kinda. I couldn't use them on the train because of the pressure. I couldn't hear anything. They were very staticky. Definitely could not use them to talk on the phone. And after a year of them barely working, I finally decided to just buy new ones because it was not worth it. And for travel, I spent $3,855.41, or an average of $321.28 a month, which I'm actually surprised it was so high. But we did I went to Salt Lake, I went to Vegas, I went to Charlotte/Charleston, and then Paris. Yeah, Vegas would have been pricey for sure. Salt Lake would have been cheap because I flew there and stayed with my sister, so it's just like food and activities while we were there. Charleston and Charlotte was fairly cheap because we didn't have to pay for a hotel. And then Paris was expensive because we had the flights, and we had, we did have the flights, but we didn't have to pay for a hotel because I used my credit card points. So, but I went hard in Paris. So, so this could have been higher. That's kind of odd. And then family stuff, $450, and that was just a one-time thing. My grandma was in the hospital and she lives in a different country, and so my dad didn't have to pay for all of it. I chipped in and my siblings chipped in, and that took care of like half the bill. So essentially it would have been like this. We each contributed about $450, I want to say, and then my dad paid the remaining portion. So it's kind of a hefty bill just to help him out a little bit. And then visitors is for when we have visitors and we have extra expenses because of they're here and we're doing extra things. That's what that goes under. That was almost $600, which is not bad. In total, I spent $8,500, just over $8,500 of my sinking fund. So kind of an expensive category, I think. So my total expenses were $48,498.40, meaning I had net income, so essentially savings of $9,508.12, or an average of $792.34. There were some months, ideally you'd want to be in the green, so spend less than you make, like in March. I spent $7,314 less than I made, but there were some months that I was in the red by a lot, like $1,400 in November. But overall, my average was $792.34 in the green. So still in the green, which is good. It was really eye-opening to look at all of these expenses and see how much money I spent, particularly in this Gabby Improvement Fund, almost $10,000. This can't continue. Absolutely cannot continue. I need to be saving for retirement. I want to save for a down payment on a home, and a good portion of this can go towards, let's say, a down payment. And that's something I really want eventually. So I'm excited to see what this year holds for me in terms of spending, because I am really going to try to cut back a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I went so hard when I was paying off debt in like 2019 and 2020. I went so hard, did not buy a single thing. I was so good. And then after that, I saved up a bunch of money to move to Chicago, and I was so good. But since then, it's been a free-for-all. I've just been spending every penny I make, and that can't continue, obviously. So I'm going to work really hard at that. That was all of my income. Those were all my expenses. Living in Chicago for all of 2023, making a modest salary. I wish I made more, obviously. Who doesn't? I'm comfortable, but I do share most of my expenses with my boyfriend, so it makes it easier to afford living and buying things when you have someone to split the bills with. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't done so already, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe. Bye.